Yes, welcome to the students of the SLW 646. And here I would show you something regarding the Harish Salve, who defended the case of the Kulbhushan Yadav. That is in the case of Jadhav versus Pakistan, which is dealt by the International Court of Justice, Netherlands Hague. You could hear also how the Jadhav has given the reply to the questions posed by the people and the media also. So now you could hear it, Jadav's.
The court not get drawn into this, but displaying this passport led to the court rejecting Pakistan's argument that Jadav's nationality was uncertain. The court said, if you say that there was a passport which you recovered, true or false, the court says if you recovered a passport which you rely on and it was issued by India, you could have had no doubt that he was an Indian. Pakistan ran 3 preliminary objections. I will not bore you with the details. They were legalistic, but some of them may be of interest. In the course of its exchanges with India, where India repeatedly sought consular access, at one stage, based on the extracted confession, which Pakistan played over and over again in the international media, Pakistan told India that they had registered a first information report for those who in India had supported Jadhav in what they alleged was his conduct and his activities in Pakistan. The who's who of India's officialdom was named in that. And at one stage, Pakistan claimed that if India were to allow that, then it would allow consular access. In the ICJ, Pakistan also ran the case that India has not cooperated in this investigation, and therefore India should not be heard to complain of violation of the Vienna Convention. This argument has been rejected. I have a degree of personal satisfaction that a lot of adjectives were used by Pakistan in its submissions. Even in replying in the court, I characterized them as unfortunate, and I said it is my upbringing and India's tradition which stood in my way of replying to them in that language. Pakistan had based allegations of what we as lawyers call abuse of process and said that was another ground why India should not be allowed the relief it seeks. That has been rejected. The court has held that Pakistan is guilty of what it, and this is what I have written down when I was hearing the judgment, the court has held that Pakistan is guilty of internationally wrongful acts of a continuing character, and it must cease those acts. I think in the language of diplomacy, which is the language of the International Court of Justice, this is trenchant indictment. Personally, as a lawyer, I am delighted that the court has upheld our argument that while construing the Vienna Convention, the ICCPR, the Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, must inform its interpretation. All this has led to the court giving us the final relief. We had ambitiously asked for annulment. The court said we can't annul, but they have said that Pakistan has to do everything to make the Vienna Convention right a living reality. They have to allow review and reconsideration. They have rejected the argument that clemency is a form of review and reconsideration. They have not accepted the argument that resort to judicial review in Pakistan courts is good enough. And that is why they have said that you must allow review and reconsideration. As I read the judgment, the critical point of review and reconsideration is that he has to be allowed consular access, he has to be allowed, and the review and reconsideration must take into account the potential prejudice caused to him, the implications of his evidence, and his right to defense. And it is only such review and reconsideration where we or our consulate will not only be allowed to meet him, discuss with him, see the papers, examine the evidence against him, but also arrange for his legal representation. And then there has to be a fair trial. Pakistan's Attorney General asserted that their constitution assures a fair trial. The court has said you must take all steps necessary. What steps you take are of your choice, respecting the sovereignty of Pakistan. But they have said this choice is not a free, unhindered choice. There is what they have used a nice phrase, they have said there's an obligation of result. And that result has to be a fair adjudication after allowing him consular access. And most tellingly, the court has said, you will take all steps necessary, including legislative measures. So Pakistan's repeated assertions that our existing laws are good enough and he can get nothing beyond has not been accepted. So I think I see this judgment with a sense of relief, a sense of gratification. And of course, they have said that till all this is done, there is no question of executing him. So I see this as something which we are very happy with, and I think it is now a good moment for us to help Jadhav get justice, ensure he has a fair trial, and since I know this is a question which all of you must be having in your mind, what if? The answer is, as in the other cases, the way the court judgment is, we can always go back to them if what they give is not a fair trial. Thank you.